In this video, I will share what makes fast learners learn fast and share my 4 top tips that work as a memory booster. What's going on, guys? In this episode, I'll be talking about how to learn faster. If you're new to the channel and like personal development, then hit that subscribe button. And if at any point you like what you see, give it a like. You are here on this channel or even on YouTube because you wish to learn new things. We can never satisfy our thirst for learning because we are designed to absorb the information around us. We began learning in the womb. We were born as plain as day. Gradually we learned how to talk, how to sit, how to walk, and then it never stops. If it's the same for all people, why do some of us excel in this and get faster at it than others? Well, thankfully, neuroscience has the answers. So let's jump into it. Today, I'm going to teach you the FAST formula and how you can use it to learn anything faster. So if you want to learn the FAST formula, then stay tuned until the end of this video. Now, the good news is learning is a skill, so we can get better at it. We need to train our brains to stimulate learning activities. And so I'm going to be going through some of my top tips and then finishing off, as I said, with the FAST formula. Different areas of our brain, like the hippocampus and the amygdala, work in a web fashion to control learning. Neurons interlink our whole nervous system. The branched tail of a neuron is called a dendrite. And when we attempt to learn something, dendrites form new signals. These signals then travel from neuron to neuron through dendrites to store this data in our short-term memory. Now, as we continue to practice this thing, our information receiving and sending cells becomes habitual to it. So it gets easy for them to interpret it. And gradually, when you keep practicing, it shifts from short-term to long-term memory. As you've probably heard many times, if you want to memorize anything quickly and efficiently, practice is key. So now the question arises, why are some people better at learning faster compared to others? So the answer is, it really depends on something called dopamine. Not familiar with dopamine? Well, no problem. I'm going to explain what dopamine is. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that regulates emotions like reward, love, and so on. But how has it connected with learning? People who are more excited are receiving intense reward signals, while visual learning are more apt to learning faster. They find it rewarding. So as a result of which their dopamine rushes, and they answer quickly, intending to get that reward. It means that people whose dopaminergic system shows more significant activity can learn faster than people with reduced dopamine activity. Coming up are some tips to help learn faster. So the first one is the Feynman technique. And this technique includes a 4-step cycle. The 4 steps are: choose a concept you wish to learn about. Pretend you are teaching this concept to a 6th grader. Identify gaps in your explanation. And then finally, review and simplify. Next tip is sleep. You might not have been expecting it in this list, but it's on here for good reason. Contrary to popular perception, naps in between a learning phase can benefit you in learning. Sleep plays a role in transferring information from short to long-term memory. In the last couple of years, scientists have conducted many studies and researchers where they found relations between sleep and declarative memory. Then you've got noting it down. So if you're struggling to learn something, consider taking notes. By far the easiest way to help you retain information and reflect back on it. There's something called the Cornell method, which is a form of note-taking. It requires very little preparation, which makes it ideal for note-taking in the class. The page will be divided into 4 or sometimes only 3 different sections. 2 columns, 1 area at the bottom of the page and 1 smaller area at the top of the page. The idea behind this is very easy. All actual notes from the lecture go into the main note-taking column. The smaller column on the left side is for questions about the notes that can be answered when reviewing and keywords or comments that make the whole reviewing and exam preparation process easier. When reviewing the notes, a brief summary of every page should be written into the section at the bottom. And finally, my favourite acronym for learning, and this is by a gentleman called Jim Quick, a renowned brain coach. is the FAST acronym. So the F in FAST stands for forget. So if you want to speed up your memory, you must temporarily forget 3 things. Forget what you already know about the subject. A lot of people don't learn faster because they feel like they already know the information. But your mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. The next F is for forget about anything that's not urgent and important. And then the last F in this is forget your limitations. These are beliefs like your memory isn't good, or you're a slow reader, or you don't have the right education to learn. But if you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. Your memory isn't fixed, and it is possible to remember hundreds of words and numbers. So then you've got A in the FAST. The A stands for active. In school, we were taught to learn by consuming information quietly, but you don't learn by being lectured to. You learn by creating information and being active in the process. Learning is not a spectator sport. So how can you be more active in your learning? Well, you can ask questions, you can take notes. The more active you are, the more you will learn. The S in FAST stands for state. Your state is a snapshot of your mood, the mood of your mind and your body. It's the emotional well-being that you feel in that exact moment. Information combined with emotion becomes a long-term memory. Many of us don't remember what we learned in school because the umbrella emotion for people in school was boredom. You are the only person in control of your state. How can you improve your state? Well, you can change your posture or your breathing. You can sit or you can stand. Think about how you'll benefit from the information. All learning is state dependent, so choose a state of joy or fascination or curiosity. And then finally, the T in FAST stands for teach. If you want to cut your learning curve in half, learn with the intention of teaching it to somebody else. If you had to give a presentation on what you're learning today, you would learn it differently, I promise you this. You would pay closer attention. You would take more detailed notes. You would ask better questions to yourself. When you teach something, you get to learn it twice. People often say that those who can't do, teach. But I never saw that as a negative. I always thought, wow, if I can't do something, I can teach it, and then I can do it. So my challenge to you then, guys, is the next time you want to learn something, give the FAST method a go. Share your challenge experience with us in the YouTube comments, or tag us on Instagram using @RosaMindset. That's it for today, everyone. If you have enjoyed the content and haven't already, I would appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. And while you're at it, you can give it a little like. And if you want to be notified of any of the future episodes, then hit the little notification bell. This has been Richard Rosa. Peace out.